It's often the hard conversations that allow us to really dig deep and understand our shortcomings and also make space for breakthrough. It wasn't until recent when I started having an open conversation about my trauma of money, or at least my fear of money. I think it's more that maybe a part of me felt like if I made a lot of money, people would perceive me as a bad guy. And there's obviously a story behind that, which maybe perhaps in a later stage we'll unpack, right? But I started having more conversations around that with black people, with artists, family, and friends. There's a comfortability in us allowing this thing to govern over our lives. It has so much ordinance in who we are, where we are, what we are, when we are, how we are, who we become at the end of the month versus who we are in the middle of the month, the plans we make, the plans we can't make, the friends you chill around versus the friends that you have to chill around. I don't like it because we have placed it above ourselves, above our own lives. It was just meant to be a tool of trade, and we've given it so much reign over our daily cycle. Yeah, it's a strange little thing, isn't it? And then they say the root of all evil is the love for money. And they are right, but at the same time doesn't mean that we shouldn't make money. And that's the struggle that I've had to face as both an artist and as a black man. Having to set your price, having to negotiate, understanding that you don't have to take the first numbers you see on a contract. Having the tough conversations, talking about debt, talking about lack, understanding the power of tithing. There's so much I want to talk about around the energy of it and how once I learned that it was a spirit, I was able to conquer it from a different perspective. And I started realizing that I'm scared of being rich because what comes with that, often people that are rich, that are successful, are ostracized. And sometimes it's comfortable, sometimes it's easier to be comfortable, and it's easier to be liked, and it's easier to have a common denominator of pain and struggle and poverty because the people that look like you, people that sound like you, are drawn to this idea, or this is what they know. And the moment you cross over, you might not be relatable. and maybe you have to pay black tax. I don't know, but um, I think you can learn a lot about someone by seeing their bank statements. I think if we all had to present our bank statements and say, okay, cool, this is who I've been for the last 3 months. Is that a true reflection of who I am? Everything that you see on the statement, does it come as a shock to you? Or am I on par, or am I at least on brand with the outward perception that I imprint on the world? I'm learning to count it. I'm learning to be critical. I'm learning to invoice every single thing, even if it's the favorites, the zeros, counted to the decimal. I'm learning to take charge of it because I am at a point in my life where I want to take charge of my charges. But I'm serious. It's really at a place where I wanna be responsible for my expenses. I want to be responsible for my contribution. I want to be responsible for my consumption. I want to feel free in just spending my money, or at least releasing it into the world without any fault, without feeling wasteful, feeling like there's no tomorrow, but at the same time, still having the ability to invest in the near future. I want to do it right. And it's a new discipline, and new agreements are coming into play. I'm learning to love the businessman that I'm becoming. There's a strictness that I am now loving about myself. Yeah. It's a beautiful process. It's a beautiful process in the sense that you start having appreciation for the people that are running businesses, the people that are getting their bag, but not even that on a grandiose level. Even Uma that just wakes up every single day and uduba magwenya and is selling that, and then she's gonna come back again the next day, you know, all 4 seasons. And that ability, that commitment, that determination, that discipline, right, is phenomenal. It's motivating. But then you realize there's a cap in how maybe one perceives value within that. Then obviously that opens up conversation of saying, hey, what you're doing is absolutely amazing and you're doing it right, but add another zero. How about expansion? Turn it into a franchise. And then that starts going into a different realm. Maybe there's an egoic battle that also comes into play. When is enough is enough? How many zeros till you say, I'm now successful? So yeah, these are the conversations around it. These are the learnings. And above all, one thing that I've learned is that money can't buy you everything. Can't buy you love. Can't buy you access. Can't buy you style, you know. It's a lot it can't buy you. It can't buy you time. I mean, it can in a sense. It can buy you more time. But there's just certain time that's lost that you can't buy back. You know, a loved one that has passed and all those other somber categories. And I think we all know that. But yet there's still a relentless pursuit in trying to make enough of it. Maybe it's just what the zeitgeist has ordered us to do, and we see no other principle in play that makes sense to us. Would bartering be a better option? We don't know. I think it helps because you start to see the value in things and not so much paper and metal. Yeah. It's a very interesting paradigm, at least that I've entered, but it's also a very interesting concept of money. It's beautiful. Yeah, but dangerous too. But other than that, Stagnot, my friends. Stagnot.